Welcome back YouTube, K-Road17 here with a brand new F1 2019 career mode video. Season 2 has gone underway and we are at the Bahrain Grand Prix, the second race of the season. Last race was a great one. Let's see if we can replicate it here with a good pace today.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly.
Hopping on board right here with qualifying Q1. We have about a minute left. It's checker flag, so this is the last lap. Do or die, as you guys will know.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap or that's qualifying over for us.
Thank you for the reminder, Jeff. I'm pushing as much as I can to try to see if we can get into Q2. We're going to cross the DRS zone and activate it. Let's see what we can ultimately get out of this qualifying. It is going to be first again. So here I'm starting to think maybe there's a glitch in the system, but then I look at my teammate Kimi, who's in 5th, so maybe the Alpha is really set up for this track, because I felt strong, but I know I actually bumped the A up quite a bit for Season 2, seeing that I thought our car was going to be a lot better. But nevertheless, it is Q2, and we are right here with 2 minutes left. We're going to cross the line, and let's see if we can get into Q3 for this evening. We actually tried to do it on a set of mediums, and we got 14th, so we did not get out of Q2. We are knocked out of the second round of qualifying, so a bit of a mistake on my end. Kimi actually went P3, so it's on to the race.
The curtain rises once more then on the desert stage of Sakir as the players take their places for the opening act. Will they enthrall us like they did in 2014 with that titanic battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? Well, we'll find out shortly as we get underway here in Bahrain. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1 of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Rose. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Lance Stroll alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen and Butler, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. Bottas, Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty. Carlos Sainz and Albon, Hülkenberg, Perez, Lucas Faber and Lando Norris, Russell and Rose. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So being P14, I decided to grab extra engine components, thinking about the rest of the season instead of this one race, which actually pushes to P20. But nevertheless, I feel this car is up to the task. We are waiting for those 5 red lights to go in the Bahrain Grand Prix. 5 are lit and we are away. We have Russell right there, we have Norris right there, Weber is right there. Can we go? And I actually kind of held back here, just wondering what the AI was going to do. So I kind of very easily, very gingerly take it easy into the first turn, hoping to get a good run out of this corner so I can maybe battle and take a couple of these positions or fight for him. Weber's going very slow, very wide for Weber. It cuts us off a little bit. Russell's right there, Perez is right there. Can I outbrake any of these guys? It looks like I can only get ahead of the Williams duo, so that is 2 spots up already. Now we have Perez right in our sights. Norris is right there as well. It looks like Albon is right up there as well. So we're not going to... Oh, we send it with Perez. Very last minute decision, but I made it stick, so...
That's a decent start. Good job.
A little bit lucky to get out of that without an incident, but we have Norris right ahead of us. Albon's there, Hülkenberg is there, and Gasly's there. We are in a train of cars, but Bahrain, ladies and gentlemen, is a very strong track for some reason for the AI. So it's going to be quite a difficult task to get ourselves up here. I've tried to stay with this train as much as I could and make sure I ran a clean race, no mistakes, And if I did make a mistake, I wanted to, minimize them as much as possible and just stick with these guys, because I felt like if I stuck with them and stuck into a slipstream, I was going to have the horsepower to get around them, or I guess you'd say the engine power. But moving on, we are almost done with lap 1 of this Grand Prix, and it's going to be very, very tight. And look at all the cars right ahead of us, all in a single file. So this might come into play here and help us a little bit, as we can catch the slipstream of Norris, and we're going to have a lot more power than him being in a McLaren. We're going to move to the outside and try to make this stick, and I have to go really easy on the brakes so that I don't run in the back of Albon. Lucky to control myself under braking there and actually make the car stick and stop. But now we're going to follow Albon, as we have Norris right behind us. We're going to try to keep him behind us. But keeping our head down, we're going to try to push further and further. We're currently setting green sectors. You can see a couple cars up ahead battling us. Albon's actually going to look for a move on Hulkenberg, and I have to lock up because these two are battling. It's slowed down so much. But now we're going to have DRS on Albon, and he's going to have it on Hulkenberg.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Oh, that was so close. Yeah, I had to actually catch the grass and brake as hard as I could just to avoid not running into these guys. These guys are very dicey in this race. But I ultimately get around Hulkenberg. Albon has gotten away, so now I have to claw back Albon and try to get around him for P14. Very tongue-in-cheek moment, but we do get around Hulkenberg. Had to grab the grass a little more than I liked, but we do ultimately get around Albon, as I believe he pitted. So now we're right behind Grosjean and his teammate, Ricardo.
Let's use some of this energy. Increase the ERS deployment.
Had to check there on the brakes a little bit from Grosjean, but it's strange seeing Grosjean and Ricardo in a racing point. I have to get used to it. I'm kind of nervous about what may be in future driver swaps. I would hate to see me losing my teammate, because I actually really do appreciate Kimi as a teammate. He is currently the driver I usually root for commonly in races, but I can't deny, what Leclerc did in Monza was a brilliant drive, but a lot of guys are pitting. We're going to have DRS on Grosjean.
Kimi is in for his stop.
We're going to sail right past and try to pull up to the back of Ricardo, see if we can't make any more room. I actually started having a lot of problems with braking, and it's because I realized that, well, I didn't realize it at the time. The brake meter board was gone at the first turn, and then I was like, well, who did that? And I realized I would go back, and it was me who took it out when I was trying to make that 3 abreast, pass. And here we are, passing a couple people in the pits. Now we're up to second. Ricardo right behind us. As you guys can see, I lock up again really heavily. They have Leclerc being the fastest one on track, so I'm trying to pull up to Hamilton. But as you can see, Hamilton is absolutely gone. Lap 21 of 29.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Pulling into the pits this lap, we're going to pit for our one and only stop. We're actually going to go to the softs, I believe. Try to finish this Grand Prix as quick as possible with the fastest tire available. We're going to enter into the pits. Be easy. As you guys can see, I have learned to enter the pits a little bit better. I'm still practicing. It's getting better, but it's not the best yet. Bear with me, I will get there. But here we are heading into the pits. We're going to drop a couple positions due to being us in the pits, obviously, but we do slap on the set of softs. We are going to be the quickest car out there. Let's see if we can do anything with this set and bring us to possibly a P5, maybe? I mean, that would be a great ass seeing that we started, this race P20, but I knew I had confidence in this car to get me up further. But I might just start looking at, pushing the envelope with AI and putting them up higher. I feel like qualifying is pretty, is pretty okay, but when it comes to race, they seem to drop a little bit. And I know a lot of other YouTubers have been talking about this, so maybe whatever I'm running, you drop it by 5 or raise it by 5 here and there. But we are on our way out of the pits, and we are going to finish this Grand Prix on a set of softs. I lock up a little bit, as you guys can see, but I think these shots are they're very, very elegant, and I think this game is so much more eye-catching than the last game. Nothing against 2018. Spent a lot of laps on 2018, but we are in 2019. Gearing up for the rest of this race, we're actually going to jump on lap 23. Not too many laps to go. I'm trying to catch Bottas ahead of me as he's P4. Can I make it stick? Can I get around him? I actually set the quickest time in the race so far.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
putting the pace on these tires. We're trying to catch the Ferrari and the Mercedes right ahead of us. We do have Bottas now right ahead of us on lap 25. Can we get around him? We're going to have DRS. He's kind of struggling a little bit. It might be he's struggling by the fact that he's on mediums, but we're going to get DRS. Go to the inside.
Catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Sailing right past Bottas. We did get around Leclerc. Now we have Verstappen in our sights. Can we get around him? It's going to be a push. We only have 3 laps to do it, but we are on softs, and I believe he is on the set of hard, so we're going to have a little bit of pace, but they're going to fall off. Last lap of the Grand Prix, we're right behind Verstappen. We only have a couple corners, actually one, if I'm being honest, to get around Verstappen. We have a good run here. Can we make for an inside or outside look? We're going to look for the inside look, but ultimately we're just too far back, and I didn't want to take him out. I didn't want to take ourselves out, so we're going to cross the line of the Bahrain Grand Prix in a solid P3.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Rose. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Driver of the day, that solid, good race, good recovery, and good solid points help us in the championship. On to the race interview.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
Not really, honestly. I had the power advantage to overtake anybody I needed to.
Do you think your rival learned from his battle with you?
Honestly, I think that he compliments me as a driver and I compliment him as a driver. I'm trying to help him gain more positions with the upgraded car, but drivers are constantly learning from each other and we're both better for it.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
Alpha has given me a very stable car, and F1 is a team sport. We all put an extreme amount of effort into this.
Appreciate your time.
That will do it for the Bahrain Grand Prix episode 2 of season 2, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button. I appreciate it. But as always, I'm going to leave you off with the race highlights. Until the next video, enjoy. I will see you guys in the next one.